Have you ever noticed how Virgo is often the most misunderstood of all the zodiac signs? If you felt criticized for your perfectionism, high standards, or even your practical approach to life, this video is for you. Today, we're diving into why Virgo tends to face constant judgment and misconceptions, even though your unique qualities make you one of the most capable and dependable signs in astrology. Is it your quest for perfection, your sharp analytical skills, or simply that the world struggles to keep up with your brilliance? In this video, we'll uncover the truth that most people don't talk about and explore both the qualities that attract criticism and the strengths that make you truly remarkable. So if you're a Virgo, or even if you have Virgos in your life, you'll want to stick around to make sense of it all. But before we begin, make sure to subscribe if you're not already part of our amazing community and hit that like button. Your support means the world and helps us bring more content tailored to you. Now get ready to discover the truth behind the critiques that Virgo faces every day. The unyielding perfectionism, Virgo's double-edged sword. Virgo's perfectionism is both a blessing and a curse. On one hand, your desire to achieve excellence makes you stand out as someone reliable and capable. You see flaws that no one else notices and work tirelessly to fix them. But this same trait can put unnecessary pressure on yourself and others around you. For some people, your focus on getting everything just right can feel overwhelming, even if your intentions are good. Yet, what most fail to realize is how much of this perfectionism comes from a place of love and care. You aim not only to improve situations, but also to help others grow alongside you. For you, high standards are your way of expressing value, whether in relationships, work, or personal goals. Unfortunately, many people fail to see the effort and compassion behind this trait and focus only on the stress it creates. This can lead to Virgo being unfairly labeled as someone who is difficult or impossible to please. Hearing such feedback often pushes you to be even harder on yourself. That constant drive to be better is admirable but exhausting. You end up caught in a cycle of self-criticism that can heighten your insecurities. It's not just others criticizing Virgos. Sometimes, you're your own harshest critic. Despite this, it's important to embrace this trait as part of what makes you unique. The world needs your dedication, even if not everyone always understands it. You bring a sense of order to chaos, and people eventually appreciate the outcome of your effort. They just don't always see the journey it took to get there. Learning to channel your perfectionism into positive outcomes, without letting it consume you, is key to finding balance. And when you start to acknowledge that perfection isn't always necessary, you create more room for joy and spontaneity. That's when others begin to appreciate you for who you are. A Virgo determined to make life extraordinary. Why Virgo's high standards feel overwhelming to others. Virgos are known for having expectations that are remarkably high. But let's be real, you hold yourself to those same standards. You want the best for yourself and others, not because of selfishness, but because you see potential everywhere. However, this strength often feels intimidating to those who can't match your drive or vision. To them, your high standards can come across as judgmental, even though judgment isn't necessarily your intent. What makes this even more challenging is that many people don't understand the depth of Virgo's perspective. You see details that go unnoticed by others, and when something could be better, you can't help but mention it. What they often fail to realize is that this is your way of helping, not condemning. For you, striving for excellence comes from a place of wanting to elevate everyone and everything around you. However, this well-meaning trait sometimes backfires. People may assume they're being criticized for not being good enough, even when Virgo's goal is only to inspire improvement. This misunderstanding can build walls between you and others, leading some to feel disconnected, or worse, inadequate. As a result, your genuine input is often taken out of context. This dynamic doesn't mean you're in the wrong. Virgos, by nature, demand excellence because you know it's possible. The world isn't always appreciative of this mindset, which can feel isolating at times. But when you find people who understand where you're coming from, they truly cherish your guidance and support. Your high standards may feel overwhelming, but they have the power to transform those willing to listen. The key here is finding a balance. Communicate your intentions more openly, and give yourself permission to relax when things don't go perfectly. Once people recognize your true motivations, they'll value your input in ways you never imagined. And you'll start seeing how trust and understanding can make relationships far less complicated. Analytical minds misunderstood. When logic rules over emotion, Virgo's analytical nature is like a finely tuned instrument. While others get caught up in emotions, you have the gift of looking at a problem from every angle, breaking it down piece by piece until you find the best solution. This makes you a fantastic problem solver, and someone others often turn to for advice. Yet, your reliance on logic above emotion sometimes earns you a reputation for being too rigid, or even cold. The truth is, you're not as unemotional as people might think. You simply prefer to process what's going on logically before letting your feelings take over. To many, this might seem like you're detached, but in reality, this approach helps you handle sensitive situations more effectively. Sadly, this often goes unnoticed because emotions tend to dominate conversations, and your practicality can get lost in translation. Another challenge Virgos face here is that emotions aren't always black and white. Yet, your mind seeks clarity and structure. When others express their emotions in ways that don't align with your logical approach, they may feel like you're dismissing them. This can lead to frustration on both sides and make people feel misunderstood, even when you're trying to help. The beauty of Virgo's logical mind is how it thrives in solving difficult problems. Your perspective is often what saves the day when others are overwhelmed by their feelings. However, recognizing that not everything can be fixed by logic is crucial to growing emotionally. Balancing your insightful analysis with a touch of empathy can help bridge the gap between you and others. Remember, your ability to analyze situations is a gift, but it doesn't need to replace emotional connection. When you learn how to combine both, you become an unstoppable force. And those who once misunderstood your approach will come to see just how vital your perspective is in their lives. Emotions versus logic. Virgos struggle with emotional expression. Virgos are often praised for their rationality, but this trait sometimes makes it challenging to open up emotionally. While others might openly express their feelings, you tend to process them internally, sorting them out before sharing with the world. This approach helps you stay calm and make thoughtful decisions, but it also leads people to assume you're distant or uninterested when that's far from the truth. The reality is you feel emotions deeply, but you prioritize understanding them logically before addressing them. Instead of being impulsive, you choose to analyze the situation first. Unfortunately, this methodical nature might not align with how others expect emotions to be handled. As a result, they may misinterpret your thoughtful reserve as a lack of empathy or feeling. What people don't realize is that your emotional restraint comes from a fear of missteps. You don't want to say something rash or cause unnecessary drama, so you hold back. This restraint, in some cases, shields you from vulnerability, but it can also make others feel unsure of where they stand with you. They may see your silence not as caution, but as disinterest. While your logical approach to emotions is a strength, learning to soften it can go a long way. Small gestures of emotional openness, such as voicing your concerns or sharing how you feel in the moment, can make a big difference. It allows others to connect with you on a deeper level and see that your calm exterior holds a wealth of compassion. Balancing logic with emotional expression is an ongoing process, but it's one worth pursuing. By allowing your feelings to show just a little more, you create space for vulnerability and authentic connections. And those who truly understand, you will see the depth of care behind your seemingly reserved nature. Constructive criticism or harsh judgment. Breaking the myth. Virgos are known for their talent in spotting flaws and offering suggestions for improvement. To you, this may seem like a helpful and logical way to approach any situation. Whether it's work-related advice, feedback for a friend, or even relationship guidance, your intentions are pure. You want to see things improve. Sadly, the world doesn't always perceive it that way. Criticism, no matter how constructive, can be a sensitive topic for many people. When you point out areas that need fixing, even with the best intentions, some might see it as unnecessary nitpicking. They may feel judged or attacked, which creates tension between you and others. This misunderstanding can often evolve into the perception that Virgos are overly critical, even though that's not your aim. What most people don't see is that your critical eye is rooted in a desire to help. You don't point out flaws to tear someone down, but to build them up, to create stronger projects, better understanding, or even more meaningful relationships. In your mind, offering constructive criticism is a form of care, but few people stop to see it that way in the moment. Learning how and when to give feedback can be a game changer for Virgos. By choosing words more thoughtfully and balancing criticism with encouragement, you can avoid the pitfalls of being misunderstood. It's important to gauge whether the person is ready to hear advice or simply needs support first. Timing and tact can make all the difference in how your input is received. Despite the challenges, your ability to see beyond the surface is a rare gift. Over time, those who appreciate constructive growth will come to value your insights and even seek them out. The trick is to remind yourself that not everyone sees criticism as a form of care, and learning to adjust accordingly will only strengthen your connections. The anxiety of failure, Virgo's quiet inner battle. Virgos are no strangers to the fear of failure. Your perfectionism drives you to meet incredibly high standards, but this often leads to a fear of falling short. While others see you as calm and composed, inside you might be battling self-doubt and anxiety about not being good enough. This fear frequently goes unnoticed because you rarely show it outwardly. The root of this anxiety lies in your deep need to succeed, not just for yourself, but for the people who depend on you. You want to be reliable, competent, and the person who can handle anything. However, this pressure to be perfect can make you hesitant to take risks. The idea of making a mistake can feel overwhelming, even paralyzing at times. What most people don't understand is how much courage it takes for a Virgo to step out of their comfort zone. The calculated risks you take might not seem bold to others, but they're a huge personal triumph. When faced with potential failure, you tend to prepare extensively, ensuring every detail is carefully planned. Yet, life doesn't always follow a plan, and this unpredictability can be unsettling for you. The key to overcoming this inner struggle lies in shifting your perspective. Instead of viewing mistakes as failures, see them as opportunities to grow. Embrace the idea that imperfection is part of being human, and that not everything needs to be flawless to be valuable. Allowing yourself this freedom reduces anxiety and opens up more possibilities. As you begin to take life less seriously, you'll notice a shift in how you approach challenges. The fear of failure doesn't disappear completely, but it doesn't control you anymore either. By taking small steps toward embracing imperfection, you show yourself that success is about progress, not about being perfect at all times. Work over play. Virgo's unwavering dedication and misjudgments. Virgos are known for their incredible work ethic and dedication to whatever they set out to achieve. Whether it's a career project, a personal goal, or even helping someone in need, you give it 100%. But with this admirable focus on being productive, you're often criticized for working too hard or not knowing how to relax. Instead of being praised for your commitment, others sometimes label you as overly serious or even dull. What those people overlook is that work for you is a source of purpose and fulfillment. You don't see it as just work. It's about achieving something meaningful and contributing to the bigger picture. Whether it's perfecting every detail or simply following through on a commitment, you find joy in being someone others can count on. But to outsiders, this dedication can seem like an obsession, which leads to unfair judgments about your priorities. It's true that balancing work and play isn't easy for you. Your natural tendency is to feel useful, and downtime might sometimes feel inefficient or counterproductive. This makes it tricky to disconnect, even when you know you need a break. However, this doesn't mean you dislike fun. You just have a different way of determining when and where to enjoy it. By learning to prioritize leisure just as much as work, you can dismantle the preconceived notions people have about you. It's not about working less, but about giving yourself permission to enjoy moments that aren't tied to an end goal. When you allow yourself to relax, it not only energizes you, but also helps others see a lighter, more playful side of you. At the end of the day, your hard work is one of your greatest strengths. But when you show that you can balance dedication with joy, you not only gain a deeper appreciation for life, you also inspire others to do the same. And that's a trait far more admirable than simply being labeled hardworking. Detail obsessive or simply meticulous. The beauty of Virgo's order. For Virgos, the world feels chaotic unless it's organized, structured, and functioning efficiently. You have a gift for noticing small details that others easily overlook, and this allows you to improve processes, spot problems, and create solutions. However, this gift often comes with criticisms. People may joke that you're obsessing over the little things or being too nitpicky, failing to understand the immense value behind your attention to detail. This misunderstanding arises because not everyone shares the ability to focus as deeply as you do. For a Virgo, every detail matters, whether it's the placement of an object, the phrasing of a document, or the way an event unfolds. To you, these small points aren't trivial, they're part of a bigger picture. Yet those less focused on details may dismiss your efforts as unnecessary perfectionism. The truth, however, is that your meticulousness ensures success where others might fall short. It's what makes you extraordinary in your work relationships, and everyday life. By taking the time to address minor flaws, you prevent major mistakes. Unfortunately, the process can sometimes make you appear uncompromising when in reality, you simply want what's best. The key lies in knowing when to let go and when to hold on. Not every situation requires perfection, and learning where to loosen up can help you navigate misunderstandings more easily. When you occasionally let things flow naturally, people begin to appreciate your efforts even more, instead of taking them for granted. Ultimately, the world benefits greatly from Virgo's precise touch. Whether others acknowledge it or not, your careful planning and eye for detail create the foundation that holds everything together. And when balanced gracefully, this trait shines in a way that leaves an unforgettable impact. Flexibility or rigidity. Virgos struggle with letting go. Virgos are often seen as highly disciplined, and this discipline sometimes leads to perceptions of rigidity. You like things to follow a certain order, and when plans change or unexpected obstacles arise, it can throw you off balance. To others, this might look like stubbornness, but in reality, it stems from your desire to maintain control in an unpredictable world. While your need for structure helps you stay organized and productive, it also has its drawbacks. There are moments when being too focused on sticking to a plan can prevent you from enjoying spontaneity. Friends or colleagues might interpret this as a lack of flexibility, assuming you're unwilling to adapt. But for you, this is simply a way of creating stability in life. What often goes unnoticed is your genuine effort to maintain this balance. You're not rigid because you want to be. You simply fear that letting go will result in disorder or chaos. This mindset protects you, but it may also limit you from new experiences or perspectives that could enrich your life. The good news is that small intentional steps toward adaptability can break this cycle. Start by experimenting with situations outside your usual comfort zone, a last-minute outing, a new method at work, or simply trusting others to take the lead. These moments of flexibility can transform your relationships and make you feel freer than ever before. Virgos shine brightest when they balance structure and adaptability. Learning to let go doesn't mean losing control. It means gaining trust in yourself and the process. And when you embrace this balance, you'll discover that life has even more to offer than you ever imagined. Modesty misread. Why Virgo often deflects praise and recognition. Virgos are some of the hardest workers in the zodiac, yet they're also some of the most modest. You have a tendency to downplay your accomplishments, preferring to let your work speak for itself. While this humility is admirable, it can often lead people to overlook your efforts, or worse, interpret your modesty as disinterest or detachment. Your modest nature comes from a deeply rooted belief in always striving for improvement. Instead of celebrating a success, you're already thinking about how to do better next time. While this mindset helps you grow, it sometimes makes others feel as though you're dismissive of their praise or ungrateful for their recognition. This trait also reflects how you view yourself. You're not driven by the need for applause, but rather by a pursuit of perfection and purpose. Yet by denying yourself the opportunity to accept praise fully, you risk dimming your own light. Others might assume you're unimpressed with your achievements when in reality, you're just focused on the next step ahead. Learning to embrace recognition doesn't mean you have to brag or seek attention. It's about allowing yourself to acknowledge your worth and showing others that you value their appreciation. A simple thank you or acknowledgement of your efforts can go a long way in deepening relationships and building mutual respect. As you begin to appreciate the value of receiving accolades, you'll find that it energizes you rather than distracts you. Accepting praise doesn't make you arrogant. It shows confidence in who you are and the incredible contributions you bring to the world. And when you embrace this, others will be even more inspired by the extraordinary Virgo that you are. Conclusion. Virgos are often the most misunderstood sign in the zodiac, but as we've explored, this criticism stems not from flaws, but from your incredible strengths. Your perfectionism, attention to detail, high standards, and analytical mind are gifts that not everyone can comprehend. While they may attract judgment, they also set you apart as one of the most capable and supportive individuals around. Embracing these traits while learning to balance them shows your true power. As a Virgo, you hold the keys to creating order in a chaotic world, and your thoughtfulness is unmatched. By allowing yourself moments of vulnerability, practicing flexibility, and celebrating your incredible talents, you can transform how others see you, and perhaps how you see yourself. It's about finding harmony between your need for perfection and the beauty of imperfection. The more you accept yourself for who you are, the more the world will begin to appreciate your unique brilliance. Now it's your turn. Share your thoughts in the comments. Have you experienced the types of criticism discussed in this video? How do you navigate those challenges in your daily life? Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and check out the playlist or video on Taurus, which is appearing on your screen right now. Thank you for being here.